Good afternoon, everybody. This is our mic check. If you can see us, if you can hear us, if everything's working okay, give us a thumbs up. We will start promptly at 3 o'clock.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing fine today. Got quite a bit to cover, so I'll move right on into our announcements. I do want to mention that this week is Police Appreciation Week. If you see some of your law enforcement people out there, regardless of whether they're city, county, DNR, or whatever, pat them on the back and give them a appreciate handshake or no handshake. I'm sorry, I can't do that anymore. But just tell them you appreciate what they do. Yesterday, the governor at 4 o'clock, he did have his briefing, and I just want to touch on a couple of things that's pretty interesting. He mentioned he is adding 1,000 staff members throughout the state of Georgia to increase contact tracing. And what contact tracing is, I asked that question myself, is these are people that will be hired to actually follow up on the cases that are positive, that are reported positive in the state. And they'll be doing research on those people, questioning them, where they've been, people they've been around, and all that. So it's pretty interesting. I don't know how long it'll take him to get these people, hired and actually on the ground working. It is interesting that that also Carey pointed this out on one of the paragraphs here from the Department of Public Health. And it says, along the additional contact tracers, Department of Public Health is introducing a new online monitoring tool developed by Google to make contact tracing more efficient. It says once a COVID-19 case is identified, public health staff will work with this individual to help them recall everyone they have had close contact with and where they went while they may have been infectious. Contacts identified during this interview will be called by trained Department of Health staff indicating that they have been exposed to the COVID-19 and asking them to enroll in DPH system. And I might point that out there. They're asking them. It's not something that's required by law or anything, but it's just something that they feel that will help to actually stop the spread of this. And honestly, I know it's just, I don't know whether some states have been doing this or not, but it'd been good if they'd started this back, like a month ago or so. It might have really cracked down on it if they had this capability. I doubt they did, but it's a pretty good idea, because, when you're actually positive, that you've got it and you do have it. It's not like, us, we had it maybe in February, but if you truly have it, you need to go back and recount who you've been around. Whether you've been to a meeting, whether you've been to your family reunion or whatever. But so it's a good thing, But I want to point out that it is voluntary, because this could be, like some of the other countries are doing it, and it does state, they're not using any kind of tracking at all. It does not, concern that as far as tracking where you're at, what you. They've got other ways of doing this. Evidently, Google does. So that's pretty interesting. I want to mention too. Yesterday, I talked about the driver's license, and I had one person that said they didn't think that was correct what we put out. Well, it's as correct as you're going to get. This came from Spencer Moore, which is the Commissioner of the State of Georgia of the Department of Driver's License, and I verified it again today. And they will be back on the 25th, and they are recommending that you make an appointment. They said that, if you don't, that's fine. You can come in. If they're in there, you may have to sit out in your car and wait, but they're going to strictly control the inside of the building as far as the seating, and they're going to go strictly by the enforcement of that arrangements of that size building over there. So they didn't give a phone number. I asked for a phone number, maybe that you could call. They're expecting people to go online, and Carey's got this on our website, but it's www.dds.georgia.gov. Georgia is spelled out, and so that's www.dds.dbs.georgia.gov, and just go online, and it's just a small questionnaire there, I think, and you can make an appointment. They'll show you the schedule, and you can go there. But I don't have a phone number for you to call. I mean, you can call the 1-800 number, I guess, but I don't know that you even get information here. But they're open from 8 to 5. They'll be here like next Monday. And then just the same schedule every other Monday. They'll be coming back, just like our old schedule was going. The library, mentioned that yesterday too. They're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 10 till 6. Good to have those people back open over there. They do a good job. Marshannon and them, I don't know what we'd do without them. Do want to mention our testing sites now. Tomorrow, remember that's Thursday. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, they'll be back. The Public Health, Georgia Public Health, will be back down at the sports complex down just south of Trenton. If you want to get in line there, want to have a swab test for your COVID-19, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to have symptoms. If it's just on your mind, Georgia, the governor of the state of Georgia, in the next few months, he wants everyone in the state of Georgia possibly that's able to get a swab test or actually get tested. And but there's a number here to call. 1-706-802-5329. That's 1-706-802-5329. Call that, and it'll save you a lot of time as far as any information you have to fill out down there. If you don't do that, you can drive up, and they'll pull you over to the side, and they'll take your information there. But that's a chance for you to actually get tested free. Lawson Medical here on the square, she's still doing the test. She does the blood draw. That checks for and also she will do, from what I understand, she does the swab test too. So she'll do either one. Now there is a cost to that. It's $25 plus the lab fee. And I've not found out. Carey, did you ever find out? Is there anything you know what that fee is? I was thinking it was another $25, but I'm not really sure on that. Maybe we can get an answer to that. But tomorrow. It takes about 3 days to get your results back on it. Then we've got one that's they're doing it 5 days a week, from what I understand, over at Lafayette at the Walker County Civic Center. And from what I understand, it's a swab test also. And if I'm pretty sure on that, I'm not. The people I've talked to said that's pretty much what they're doing. They're not doing a blood draw. Also we have the one there in the Walmart shopping center there, in Lafayette, and they are out of the old quick test. They're doing the actual blood draw, and so I think they've got some more of those ordered, but they're kind of hard. That's the test that's really hard to find, because you can find out results there in just a few minutes. Well, about 20 minutes is what it takes on that right there. So far in Dade County though, last Thursday, there was 54 people that went through the line. I think there'll be a lot more than that tomorrow. I think the more people are aware that we are testing, and the fact that it is free. And also, a lot of people thought you were supposed to have the symptoms before they would test you, and so that's not the case. Let's see if I'm leaving anything out here. Got that one. I believe not. Let me move on into our numbers here. We do have Paula back here today. She had a question or so yesterday, and she had left out a couple of things. She wants to actually answer the questions and give you a little more information on our assessor's office. But currently in Georgia, we have 35,245 confirmed cases. That's up from 34,635 as of yesterday. Totally in Georgia, there's been 273,904 people that have been tested, and out of that, 35,245 confirmed cases. We're staying the same in Dade today also at 17. There's 11 antibody tests involved in that also, so you can deduct that from that. Walker County, they stayed the same at 68. Catoosa County, they stayed the same. They're from 58 to 61. Chattooga County, they stayed the same at 16. Whitfield County, they went from 166 to 171. Gordon County, they stayed the same at 124. Floyd County, 159, they went up 1 to 160. Bartow County, 366 yesterday, they went up to 368. And there's currently 1,415 unknown cases in Georgia. And that number, it keeps climbing. It'll keep climbing. The more testing that's done, you're going to see that number change, and it's going up. Totally in Georgia, there's been 1,493 deaths. That's up from 1,461 yesterday. In Tennessee, they've had a total of 16,110 confirmed cases. Now that's compared to Georgia's 35,245. That's a big difference right there. But there's actually 15,544 yesterday, and it went to 16,110 in Tennessee. Now they have 8,336 people that have recovered statewide, so that almost splits it in the middle almost. Anyway, Hamilton County, we moved to it. It's one of our bordering counties. They went from 240 to 257, and they have 110 people that's recovered out of that 257 and 13 deceased. Marion County, they're at 29. They stayed the same as yesterday. They have 23 that's recovered and 1 deceased. Grundy County, they stayed the same at 30, and they have 24 recovered out of that with 1 deceased. Sequatchie County, they're still 6, and they have 6 recovered. Meigs County, they have 22. They stayed the same, and they have 8 recovered. Bradley County, 72 yesterday, and they're at 74 today. They have 51 people that's recovered with 1 deceased. They've had 264 deaths in Tennessee. That's up from 251 yesterday. Alabama, they have 10,494 confirmed cases. That's up from 10,167 as of yesterday. In Jackson County, or bordering county, they stayed the same at 60. DeKalb County, they went from 158 to 168. So they gained 10 from yesterday at this time. The numbers are, some counties or some places are kind of leveling off and staying the same for several days. Then you got other counties that are, jumping. So it's hard to say, exactly where we're at. I do wish that we actually could, as I've mentioned the last few days, that we could get these recovery rates here in Georgia and Alabama, and I know they're working on those. Hopefully they'll get them to us, because it's really good to have those where you can comparatively, compare the people that's actually back out there, and working. Paula, if you want to come on up here, we'll let you go ahead and give your report. Because the sheriff I think I asked you, is the sheriff coming today? Okay. All right. We got Alex over there too.
Good afternoon. I am Paula Duvall, the Chief Appraiser for the Dade County Assessor's Office. The first thing I'll do is address the question that was asked yesterday. Now, the question was regarding how much revenue will be generated per our property value changes, and that's a question that really cannot be answered yet, and there are several reasons why. The first reason is because, our office wouldn't have that information anyway, because we don't deal with the revenue side. The only number we're going to have is the total value of property in the county. And the number that we have currently is a gross number, meaning it does not include the exemptions. It's pending all appeals. So between now and the time when those consolidation sheets are printed, as to when the county commission and the county school board start plugging those numbers in their forms and deciding on a mill rate, it's at that time that we would know what type of revenue is going to be generated. And that's usually not done until the end of June, beginning of July. What our office does is, once appeal time is towards the end or has been expired, we transfer all our records to the tax commissioner's office. The tax commissioner's office at that time produces what's called consolidation sheets, which have your net numbers, which is what is used to produce the mill rate, what they put in their forms to decide what type of mill rate that they're going to set, and that's the county commission and the school board. And it is only at that time will we know what type of revenue will be generated. So I did want to address that. If you want to know the total property value, now that is a number that I can give you, so just let me know, but there would be some disclaimers with that also. So just wanted to address that first of all. The second thing, I want to go over the assessment notices just a little bit more. I have my assessment notice here. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but I just wanted to kind of go through. There's 3 boxes you'll see. The first box just gives general information, and it does inform you that you have to choose which channel of appeal you want to go through. That's the Board of Equalization, Arbitration, Hearing Officer, or Superior Court. It does give contact information, so that's your general information there. And then when you move down to box B, that's going to be your property information, your value information. It's going to give you your parcel identification number. It's going to give you your homestead code. And then you'll see 2 different numbers here. You'll see the previous year's value, which will be your 2019 value. Then you will see your 2020 value, which is your current year value. And there's 2 columns there. The top column is going to be your 100% fair market value. And then underneath that is the 40% assessed value, which that is your taxable value, because Georgia taxes at 40%. So that gives you that general information there. And then the third box is just your estimated tax. Again, it is not what your tax bill is going to be. It is just an estimation based on the information listed here. You'll see your actual exemption amounts down here. The code is here, but the amounts are here. And this is all based on 2019 millage rates. So, and another thing to keep in mind, this is not your tax bill. There's no money due at this time. This is your assessment notice to let you know and inform you of what your taxable value will be, and to give you an opportunity, if you disagree with that, to file your appeal. And then I wanted to go over the appeal just a little bit. This is the form. There is an appeal form that we can print out for you. We can mail it to you. You can buy the office and get it. There's several different ways you could do that. You can get it off the Department of Revenue website. Just some specific things I wanted to address with this. Of course, first of all, you do have to check which avenue of appeal you want to go through, the BOE, arbitration, hearing officer, or superior court. These columns, there's only these specific things that you can appeal: value, uniformity, taxability, exemption denied, or some covenant, breach of the covenant. So you have to check which one and why you're appealing there. Down here, it's very important. You'll see owner's value assertion required. We must have you put a value there. What do you feel, if you disagree with our value, what do you feel you would sell your property for today on the open market? Not what you want to pay taxes on, but truly what you feel like you could get if you sold your house today. We need that value right there. And then there's a place for you to write comments. So the more information you give us, the more specific you are, the easier it's going to be for us, and the more likely we are to maybe come to some type of agreement or something like that. So be very specific on your appeal form, because that definitely helps your appeal process. And I wanted to mention the inflationary freeze. If you do have the inflationary freeze on your property, what that does, if your property value increased, this is going to give you an exemption, because when you came in and applied for that, a frozen base year value was set of what your house value and 3 acres were at that particular time. So let's say you came in, you froze your value to $100,000. This year, your property value went to $125,000. So that's your current year value. So what you're going to do, what that does for you, it's going to give you a $25,000 exemption. So you're still taxed on your frozen base year value of $100,000. So that's how that works. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your assessment notice, your property records, that if you have that, your taxable value did not change if your property value increased. Now, anytime your property value goes below that frozen base year value, you're always taxed on the lower value. So if it drops below your frozen value, you're taxed on the lower value. We do have a website that has all our record information. It has maps. You can pull sales information. It has a lot of good information. That website is www.qpublic.net/GA/Dade. And it has been updated with all the new information for the 2020 digest. So that's a good resource for you. And please call us any questions you have. We're more than happy to speak to you. Come into the office. We want to do everything we can to help you through this process. Just let us know anything that we can do for you. Any questions? No questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Case, Director of Dade County Emergency Services and the Mayor here for the city. And I want to thank Paula and her staff, being as the 911 Director. A lot of the things, the addressing for new constructions, new houses, residents, start with our department. And every year at the end of the year, when we have all those addresses, and we use the Q Public she just talked about, we work with the homeowners to get that partial ID so that her team goes out next year and grabs that new business or that new residence to make sure that everybody's paying their share. So there's a huge team effort within the whole system, and her and her staff, and we all work together to make sure we're keeping that information flowing through. So a lot of it starts when new folks come in for a new residence that's building houses, and we get a lot of them every month that we physically have to go out and assign the physical 911 to a partial or a subdivided partial, and then use their partial numbers to make sure that that's picked up next year on the values. Again, as Executive Rumley stated, the Law Appreciation Week, we were on yesterday with the sheriff, the major, and Chief Smith, and what these folks and their team of patrol men and women do 24/7, 365. Even when our last events of the storms here, we had double, that both shifts were out on opposite shifts that were off, having to come in. They help the road crew, public works, city and county pull debris away when we get to them. When we have these trees down or lines down across these roads, these officers have to stay there to make sure that it's safe, that nobody runs into it. And when the teams show up, they get out there and drag brush and pull this too. And then they're also run into these very hard, difficult type calls. Could be domestics, could be a wreck, some of the hard times with anything, domestics being one of the scariest things that we teach in for dispatching and the officers, and still traffic stops and things, that these folks are out here putting their lives on the lines with them and their family to protect our life and our property. So when you see them, say hello, tell them thank you. These men and women work tirelessly, very privileged to work with them day to day, and also making sure that they get home safe every day. That's one of the things I tell our dispatchers. We have a couple training is that their job is to make sure that everyone goes home at the end of the day. We're providing them the best information and get what they need to do their job when they get there, and make sure the brothers and sisters in blue, fire or EMS, that they get what they need to do the job and get back. But thank law enforcement. We appreciate what you do. Again, reminder of our testing tomorrow at 9622 Highway 11 South at the Dade County Sports Complex. We'll be there from 9 to 4. We'll be there to assist with logistics. Please follow the cones, come into the entrance of the other way. We had a lot of people try to sneak through the parking lot to bypass some traffic flying through, and we had people standing there. So, you know, if a vehicle or cones are blocking a section, doesn't mean go around the wrong way to get into something. So we appreciate that. These ladies are coming from different areas of District 1 to help our Dade office with this testing. There'll be a few of us there to also assisting, so please be courteous if you are in that area, and you know, be mindful that you know we're doing a thing here to help the community, and if it disrupts a little bit of something, you know, please just be mindful to us. Now there's additional parking of the park all along the original parking of the fields where you can still get out, do your walking, and some of the area was open by the soccer fields and football fields for walking and stuff too. It's just a section in front of the senior citizens building. That area of the parking lot is kind of where we're doing the testing at. So again, thank you for all you do, being there and giving us this information back. We're just trying to be very transparent with everything we do, and again, we're all in this together for our social distancing. Besides just this, for any type of things we do, it's all a team effort. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Mayor. Evan Stone with KWN Radio and TV asked me to come on today to tell you about the debate forum that we're planning tomorrow night. Give you an idea of where you'll be able to listen to it. You'll be able to watch it. It's going to feature the candidates that'll be coming up in the state and local races for Dade and part of Walker County. We're talking, of course, about the state Senate, the state House of Representatives, and the local races from the Dade County Executive position, the Dade County Commission, and the Dade County School Board, all of which have different folks that are vying for those positions. So we'll have that debate. We have historically had it at the library, and we're glad that they are now back open. We will have it tomorrow night. It will be 6:30 for radio and television, and that'll be coming on. And let me go first tell you where you can watch it on television, okay, on TV. KWN TV is available, of course, on TVN TV, North Alabama Electric Co-op, several of the ITV television cable systems, so you'll be able to watch that. If you're currently watching and have KWN TV in your home on a cable box, you'll be able to watch it there at 6:30 tomorrow evening. If you do not, maybe you've got the Roku or a Fire Stick or Fire TV, Android TV, Smart TV, you'll be able to watch it there too. It's the app called iTV Chattanooga. iTV Chattanooga. It's a free streaming device that you can download. You can watch KWN TV and other channels there that are available to you on those platforms of Roku and Fire Stick and so forth. So you'll be able to watch it there tomorrow night at 6:30. If you do not have either one of those and you've got a tablet or a computer, you can also watch it on your computer. You can do that through the website of KWNNewsRadio.com. KWNNewsRadio.com. You'll see when it loads up, you'll see it says Watch KWN Live. Click on it, and it'll load it up, and you'll be able to watch it on your computer or your iPad or wherever, how you get your information. Even on your telephone, you'll be able to watch it there. That's on television, so you'll be able to watch it on your computer, watch it on the streaming service through ITV Chattanooga or KWN TV. Now, switching over to radio, let me tell you also it's going to be available live on the radio, and that will be, of course, given out by News Radio 101.3 FM, 101.3 FM, and 1420 AM KWN. It'll be on those frequencies tomorrow night at 6:30. That's also available on your iPhone or your Android telephone. You can download the app, WKWN, in the App Store. Many of you have already got that, but if you don't, you can go to your App Store on your phone, put in WKWN, and download the app where you can listen on your phone if you don't have the ability to watch. It's also available through TuneIn. A lot of folks listen to us through TuneIn, which is a worldwide app. It's called TuneIn, and all you got to do is search WKWN. So it's available on radio and TV. One other place, we intend to also stream it onto our Facebook site. Many of you watch the city council meetings, county commission meetings, and so forth, school board meetings through KWN News Now, our Facebook site, and it will be streaming there as well tomorrow night, 6:30 in the evening, and it's for a debate slash forum for the upcoming election, which will be, of course, on June 9th. So join us tomorrow night at 6:30. Now, we are asking, the library, of course, has to follow, and we want to follow all of the CDC and government guidelines. So you'll be able to watch it or listen to it. The candidates are asked, they can bring a couple of guests, but the library is doing social distancing, and it's not unlimited seating, of course. In years past, we've allowed anybody and everybody that wanted to come, but so we're limiting it to the candidates, bringing a couple of people each with them. That'll be tomorrow night. But of course, I mean the event is actually for radio and television, so you'll be able to watch that and listen to it. So wanted to make sure it's going to be tomorrow night at 6:30 on all of those different platforms. Thank you.
This is a reminder that Census 2020 is still happening. So if you haven't filled out your census yet, whether that was by what you received in the mail, by the paper that you received in the mail, or online, please go online at www.2020census.gov and fill out your census today. Here are a few reasons to fill out your census, and we did just share this in the comment section. It is Census 101, why census is important to you. So here are just a few things about census and why it's important. It's about fair representation. Every 10 years, the results of the census are used to reapportion the House of Representatives, determining how many seats each state gets. This is something that I know a lot of people did not know. It's in the Constitution. So the U.S. Constitution mandates that everyone in the county be counted every 10 years. The first census was in 1790. So if you're a constitutionalist, do your census. Go on 2020census.gov and fill that out. It's also about redistricting. After each decade census, state officials redraw the boundaries of the congressional and state legislative districts in their states to account for population shifts. So please go on and do your census today.
Thank you, Carey. We got any questions?
We did have one question, and that is, who do they need to call if somebody is parking illegally in the no parking zone in Canyon Estates,
Call the
Canyon
Sheriff's
Park
Department.
Estates?
Just call the 657-4111, and that's that. We've got new signs we put up over there. Even since Saturday and Sunday, we had a bad problem over there Saturday and Sunday. We've posted. I think Billy put maybe 2 or 3 more signs up. And we've just got to get, we've got some signs ordered to put at the beginning of the park, the beginning of where you turn in off of 136. And it's relating to the people that if you're going there on the park, you've got to park on the park property. There's no parking whatsoever on their right-of-ways, or especially in people's yards. They actually had a couple of cars, I think, towed over there Saturday, so it was really bad. But when they shut the gate at the park, it seems like people are coming from the mountain, and they're going in the bottom, even though that gate's closed, they're parking in people's yards. So we're trying to handle that. But the Sheriff's Department's the ones that enforce it. Yeah. And they can call most of them call me Saturday or the weekend. I don't mind you calling me, 667-8999-423. But, and I can get the deputies over like I did this weekend. But quickest thing is to call the Sheriff's Department. Do what else?
That's 911, we'll dispatch the sheriff over there.
So it won't hurt to call 911 then?
Well, that's 4111, we'll ring 911.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it goes straight into the to the, yeah, it just keeps from tying our 911 emergency line up by dialing that. Yeah, and that's a good number to write down anyway in your book or in your phone, is that 657-4111, because that, you know, if you've got a problem that, you know, just like this, it's not an emergency. You know, it's better to dial that number than to dial 911, where you might have someone that might be having a cardiac arrest or whatever. So, anything else?
We do have one more thing. We have a couple of people who are really concerned about the governor pushing for everyone to be tested. Is that something that the governor is mandating, or is that something else?
I don't see how he could mandate it. You know, constitutionally, I don't see how he could, but he, in his mind, he feels, and a lot of governors are saying that, you know, you know, the more testing, the more real numbers you'll have as far as, you know, positive and all. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, that's his idea, and as a lot of governors are doing, you know. But as far as mandating it, I don't see how he could mandate that. But he's putting every effort, you know, as far as hiring these other people here, and he's helping the public health, you know, staff these places throughout the state to be tested. So it's up to you if you want to get tested. I mean, you know, but that's what that's all about from what I read, you know. Yeah. I did want to mention too. I did notice this, and this is for some of the young drivers or drivers that really got their driver's license here just a few weeks ago or a month or so ago, and did not have to take a driver's test. They made it easy, you know, for you to do that, because, you know, all the driver's license, as most of you know, have been shut down all the way through Georgia. Well, now he's come back and it says new drivers who receive their license online during COVID-19 will still be required to take the road test, and you've got to take it by September the 30th in order to keep your license. So, you know, but you got a 16-year, I know it. Don't you know that just really, yeah. So if you've 16, you got your license, you thought, man, I'm, you know, so you're going to have to do that. So anyway, but just thought I'd throw that in there. But we are open back up in Dade County, like I said. And if you got any questions about that, you can call our office here at 657-4621. Look online at Carey's our site there, or call my number, and I'll get you an answer. You know, so. Appreciate everyone out there watching this. We've been a little lengthy today, but a lot of good information here. Try to tune in on the Evans channel there tomorrow night. And are you going to do that? We will share it. Okay, it'll be on. Yeah. And so we've got a lot of. I think we've got like 16, right? People, isn't it? 16 candidates total. And you're not doing a congressional, right? It's just what the Senate. Oh, yeah. So there's going to be 16 candidates over there. So it could be lengthy. I'm not sure how it's going to be set up, but be a lot of information there. You'll be able to see everyone and put a face with the name of people that's running. So appreciate everyone being there. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and we'll talk to you later. Call me if you need me, okay?